She's live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good night. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Day Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Roger, it's good to be back home after a long time.
I know, good seeing you, but you had so much fun, man. I'm sure you missed us, but you didn't miss us, really.
It was good. It's always good to be in Africa, and it's
Yes.
just a relaxing feeling. Yeah, it shows you. Like I used to think that West Indians are laid back. In Jamaica, you say soon come, and that could be
It'll be
anytime.
next week.
Could be next week. I think they must have learned it from the Africans.
It's even more laid back there.
Oh, even more laid back.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. It's like
That must be nice. I gotta go there. I haven't been there ever, so I'm looking forward to that. But that sounds like a cool place to go hang out and just chill.
yeah, it is. And sometimes I hear people say, I'm coming in an hour, and they said not African time, but I was thinking in my mind, not West Indian time. But yeah, African time is longer than us, so
Wow. That is
definitely.
good stuff.
It was a good, despite the results, it was a decent trip. Besides, it could have been better cricket wise. We did okay in Zimbabwe, but then when the real thing started, for some reason, players got.
Yeah, I mean, Manal and I spoke about it. I mean, we know you must have been very disappointed because going close with no cigar and
Yeah,
being competitive but not winning, it can be very, very difficult. So I'm sure I was like, man, Ingle must be pulling out his hair and saying, I got to go out there myself.
yeah. At one time, I said I need to go into the nets and practice because I couldn't understand it. They're talking about feeling pressure. I mean, you need to get 70 runs at a strike rate of about 4.8, and you're still
Exactly.
pressured. And I don't understand it. There's no reason to be pressured. It was so easy. But
That's what I thought. That's what I
yeah,
thought. But you know what? They need to embrace the pressure and not talk about it.
exactly. And I think it comes from playing maybe more cricket. But after Zimbabwe, when we won the last two games, I felt okay, we're in a good space.
Yeah.
But then when we got to Namibia, the team just started playing like how we played the first two games in
Oh
Zimbabwe.
boy. Oh
So,
boy. They made a couple steps backwards.
yes, they did for sure. So I mean, and then the rain didn't help either because I think
Yeah.
the Namibian team they switched on and off better than us because
Okay.
they. I mean, I think in the whole series we played one full game in the whole.
Yeah, lots of rain. I remember.
Yeah,
Yes, you're
it
right.
was just Duckworth Lewis, and then talking to a friend there, he said as soon as we left, the rain was done.
Is
So
it just
um,
spiteful?
yeah, it was
Wow,
spiteful.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
You came, the rain came, you left, the rain left.
they said it. They never had that much rain in over 6 years, and I mean, the first night we got to Namibia, it was some serious thunder and lightning, and I've never seen something like that. It was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, and
Wow.
a couple of bridges got washed away.
Oh, it was that bad, eh? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
the main bridge that brings supplies from South Africa
Hmm.
was all washed away. But yeah, it was a bad time in the rain. But eventually, when we played some cricket, it was pretty good.
That's good. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Overall, a good experience. Just not winning when you should.
that's very much so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah, and I think good for the youngsters who were there to see what it's like to playing international cricket.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very important for their growth.
Yeah, well, one positive is that for the series in Namibia, um, one of our youngsters who made his debut, Yuvraj Samra, 18 years old, and he was the batsman of the series. So that was a good,
Wow.
yeah. So that was positive for us.
When you have a youngster coming in and being a star of the series, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Future looks bright for him.
yeah. The future definitely looks bright for him. So it was good to see that happen and to see him excel in the way he did and the confidence that he played with. So it was very
Yeah. Yeah.
refreshing.
True. True.
So as we're back, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things are happening.
Yes.
some if you can the Formula One last week disappointment for
I don't know. I think it's more than disappointment. It's craziness. How could two cars from the same manufacturer get disqualified?
yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I've never seen that. Two Ferrari cars being disqualified. That was really crazy.
It's just, what is going on over there?
Yeah, and I don't understand. I mean, congratulations to Lewis first of all for winning the sprint.
The
But
sprint
then,
for the first time in so many years. Can you believe it?
yeah, it's been good. But when it came to the main race, I don't understand how the car's performances changed so much.
He said, I think he said there was some adjustments after the sprint to
Correct.
tune it up to make it go even better, and it didn't go better. It got worse. He said he felt uncomfortable after the sprint. So they made some changes that just didn't work.
Yeah, and then to see that, I noticed that most of the other cars had a one stop, and he had to do two
Two
stops.
stops, yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
is just crazy.
yeah, it was crazy, but good to see. We'll have the week off. This week is off, and next week they back at it in
Yep.
Japan. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to see that. But for now, I think the McLarens are saying, look out, this is going to be our year. And they've started off with a bang, I must say,
yeah,
a real bang.
yeah, they do look like the the car to beat, and surprisingly, Max Verstappen is not really a threat to anybody at this point.
I'm noticing he's not even, well, he's there, but no one notices. It's like, what happened to the champion?
Yeah, nobody seems worried about him.
No. And he doesn't seem as if he's fighting for anything. He's just driving.
Yeah, yeah, he's just driving at this point. Maybe he's not happy with something, but
Yeah, I think he had some firing. One of the backroom guys got fired or something like that. So
yes, and I
there are
think
things
it's
happening in the background, Lawson, right? So I'm not sure if that's impacting them or what's going on with that, but they're not threatening anybody right now.
they're not, and if I'm not, I think they made a change of drivers also too, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, it's like Sonoda will replace Lawson, so yeah,
Yeah.
Sonoda. So wow, a lot of things happening there at Red Bull.
Yes. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's an exciting year. So I hope whatever they need to fix it quickly so we can have Red Bulls against McLarens, against the Mercedes, against the Ferraris, and
Hmm.
a really, really nice year on the F1 circuit.
And it looks like all of a sudden Mercedes are back in it.
That's what, I'm keeping one eye on that. It's like, okay, what happened here? You struggled for so many years. All of a sudden, now you're bang, you're right
Yeah,
in the mix. And
you're
Russ is
right.
looking as if he's doing something special.
Yeah. So just wondering what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if Mercedes beats Ferrari. Then I'm sure it's going to be a big topic of conversation.
For sure, definitely will be. Definitely that will be. And there's other thing that's been debated in the Formula One is about the engines, and they're talking about I think should they go back to V6 turbos or should they go back to V10? I think they said or something.
Beaten, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a serious conversation with power and efficiency and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So I leave that to the scientists to say which one is the best one for the car based on its weight and its shape and all of that stuff. But it's an interesting discussion for sure.
It is an interesting discussion, and yeah, it's gonna. I guess it's somebody will depend on someone coming up with the right thing. As you said, the engineers, the technicians coming up with the right thing, and
Correct.
knowing what's the best thing for the cars because you got to look at also fuel efficiency and all these different.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Now, you got to run for so long, right? You got to make sure that you're efficient. The main thing is being efficient, which is how Red Bull won because they used AI to get them to be optimized all the time how they run, right? When to stop, how fast to go, how in terms of the tires that they're on,
hmm
all of that stuff becomes important. So very complex, very
it is
complex.
very complex for sure, definitely. So I think that's anything else you want to talk about Formula One?
No, no, that's it for Formula One for me. I think it's just started, but I think so much to look
So
forward
much
to right
to look
now. I
forward
must
to for sure. Yeah.
say. Yeah.
We could talk some tennis too, because I think at the moment we're into the singles finals at the Miami Open,
Yeah.
and the women's side, Pegula and Sabalenka. Any surprise?
Sabalenka.
Any
I don't know who
surprise?
are you liking in this one.
I like Sabalenka. I think she should win. She lost the last tournament, but I think she's gonna bounce back, and I think
Yeah.
she's gonna win two in a row.
What I like about her, I mean, outside of tennis, I think she's bringing good energy to the sport. She
Hmm.
seems happy. She seems into it. She seems so engaged to what she's doing that you sort of want her to win too. But I think it's going to be a tough match against Pegula, a very dangerous, dangerous player. So I am actually leaning to Pegula for this one.
Hmm.
Um, from what I've seen, I think Sabalenka seems to be a little up and down recently, but I'll see if she's going to bounce back and win again, as you said.
Yeah, totally agree. She's been up and down recently, but thinking that she will come through and it counts. But
She should. Based on class, she should, but Pegula is dangerous, always dangerous, actually.
she is always dangerous for real. But and she's actually surprised me. But that match goes this afternoon at 3 o'clock, so
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see how that goes. And
But on the women's side, before we get off the women, is that Swiatek was in this competition too, and she's gone from like the quarterfinals. So
yeah,
I don't. Is she? She's trending down. Like she's consistently trending down. There's no bouncing up for her.
yeah, I think, and she was beaten by who? Ela, right? I think it was,
Yeah.
and that was
Like beat by who again? It's like
yeah.
what
I'm
is
like,
going on?
who is that? Yeah, and yeah, she seems to be getting beaten very easily
Easily, easily. It's like not saying she's not competing, but she's definitely not playing well at all for a little while now.
for a little while. And I think Elo came in as a wild card actually, and
Exactly.
advanced very far. And the other disappointment for me, I guess, is Coco Gauff. The way she's
uh,
losing easily these days too.
she's not playing at all. I don't know. You know, she seemed on the rise when she won the US Open, and we said, yes, she's finally figured it out. But she's back to where she was before she won that US Open, where she's so inconsistent and you just can't depend on her to have a good game all the time. You just don't know what you're going to get from her. And as a top class player, it cannot be so. It
Yeah,
just cannot be so.
I think it's all mental, but
It
somehow
is. It is.
she's
But then she changed her coach, and I thought that would have made it better.
yeah, I thought so too. And what I was happy to see is that well, she loses, but she's not don't seem to be down, but she definitely have to work on that mental side of it and get past because you can't be get to that high and then just go down the next day.
Yeah. She's trending down as well. And it's like, okay, you know, you're young, you're full of energy, you're bringing so much to this sport, and you can't get locked in at this point. You won the US Open, and I thought you'd begin to get locked in, and she's just not locking in. I don't know. I don't know
Thought
what's taking her so long.
he thought she'd be always challenging at championships
She
for long.
should be. That's the sign that you're ready to take over the world, and I thought she was.
I thought so too, but that's definitely not happening.
No, not
No,
right now. I mean,
I,
there's still a long way to go. Don't get me wrong, and we're not jumping the gun here, but I mean, only one major so far. But I mean, if she gets another one this year, then maybe it's not going to look so bad. But right now, she hasn't looked good since the start of the year.
correct, and maybe it kind of reminds you of Leila Fernandez and Raducanu, but if
Yeah,
yeah, Raducanu actually had a good run in this Miami Open.
she did. She did. There's just so much drama on her. I mean,
And
some of it not her own doing and all of that, but
Mhm.
there's just there's more drama than tennis for her.
Yeah, but yeah, she's playing without the coach this time.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
you know, she's changed coaches like about three times, and well, she had a stalker, and she got injured, and it's just always something.
it's always something with her for real. But yeah, we'll see how the women's finals go today, and then on the men's side, no
Oh, back.
surprises. Novak, he wants to keep winning, and he looks like he will keep winning.
Well, think about it because Malala and I spoke about it that should he retire or not, and I think he sent in a
Mhm.
message that I listen to you guys, and I'm not going to retire. But anyway,
Yeah,
just
he
kidding.
did. Yeah, he did send a message to someone, I think.
I know, I know. But I tell you, I'm very proud to see how he has bounced back. He
Mhm.
seems a lot happier these days, I must say. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's one win away, Ingle, one win away from his 100th
From
ATP
100.
title.
Yeah,
And that is huge,
and
huge.
he has a good chance because Mensik I don't expect him to give him a lot of trouble, but you never know in these
You
sports.
never know. You never know. I'm fairly confident that Novak is going to win and get this 100th title.
I am confident too that he will. So
Yeah.
it's sometimes the pressure of those milestones get to you, but I think
Yeah.
Novak is very relaxed kind of guy, and I don't believe
Yes.
he lets too much pressure get to him.
And I think mentally he's still very strong.
Hmm.
He's 37 now, and I think he wants to go out the way he wants to go out on top or as a champion or, well, of course, winning the most titles. But I think he's going to be locked in for this. I think he knows what's at stake here, and I think he's going to
Hmm.
win.
Yeah, I think so. I think he knows it's his turn, so he's gonna win tomorrow
Yes,
when he plays that final.
sure, for sure.
Well, look forward to those two finals, and we'll see how the tennis goes on. Any other sport that you want to talk about before we get into some cricket? Maybe I don't know. It's coming down to the basketball playoffs. Lakers was on a run there, but then they started losing again.
I was wondering what's going on with them. I think it was well, not a surprise when they got Doncic and they started moving up, but I believe that they've sort of, I don't know, blown a fuse or something here. They're struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling, and they actually got some of their own medicine because they had a buzzer beater, and
Yeah.
then the following night they had the same done to them. So yeah, they're struggling a bit, but they're still up there in fourth position in the standings,
Yeah.
and Toronto Raptors also on a bit of a winning streak, if you want to call it
That's
that.
always a shock for me because you think they're playing to get a lottery pick or something. They
Hmm.
seem as if they want to lose. They were playing a lot of bench people, but at the end of the day, they're winning again. So I don't know. Give them credit for winning, though.
Yeah, they're on a three-game winning streak, and yeah,
Yeah.
so they seem to want, as you said, they wanted to get a good pick, but
Good pick. Yeah. That's
maybe
what I thought it was about.
maybe,
But apparently not.
maybe the bench want to prove that we deserve to be
We
here.
deserve a play. Yeah. Yeah. It's always that, I get an opportunity and I'm going to take it.
I'm gonna take it for sure,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
So,
Outside of the NBA, I think that's the March Madness.
mhm.
No, it's March Madness is always about the big upsetter. But what is going on, England? What is this a favorites competition here?
I haven't actually been following the March Madness, as to be honest, and there's not a lot of sport that I could see where I was.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think I guess by now your bracket is all messed up, right?
Well, yeah, it's gone.
Hmm.
It's gone. But I think they're down to the Elite Eight, and you're gonna have Auburn at number one versus Michigan State at number two, Duke number one against Alabama number two. You
Hmm.
got Florida number one against Texas Tech number three,
Number three.
Houston number one against Tennessee number two. So it's all 1, 2, and threes.
It's the first time in a long time you've seen that, especially in
Very
March.
long time.
Yeah, because you always have some upsets along the way, but it's just
Always.
yeah, it don't seem to be any, and it's just unusual.
Yeah, because you almost have to pick for these upsets. They're gonna say which is the upset is gonna happen, and you pick it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's how to cause my brackets to burst up. But I believe if you're one of those that love favorites, then you must be smiling right now.
But yeah, if you pick the favorites, you're good.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke is looking very serious. Auburn is looking very dangerous as well. A lot of people are saying the one to watch is Houston.
Hmm.
But I think whoever wins up the Duke, well, let them play the games first. But I think Duke has an excellent shot as well as Auburn.
I think Duke plays Alabama today, right?
Yeah, 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 they do.
Yeah.
They do. It's a one versus two, and Alabama is a very dangerous team, so it's going to be a good game. Going to be a good game. I almost feel like the winner of that one is probably going to win the whole thing, but I mean, it's going to be a good game.
And the final, when is the final? Well, this is a final
Yes,
weekend, right? Final. Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Final four is
the following
next
week,
weekend.
next
So
weekend. Yeah. So yeah, because these are I guess the finals of the divisions, and then the final four.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye. I'll start to watch now that I know that we're down to the finals.
Final
So
eight. Yeah, we're getting down there. So yeah.
yeah, and as you said, it's unusual. I'm looking at the right now and seeing all the top seeds there in the
All
finals.
of them are there. I think all the number ones are there.
Yeah, which is
For a
very,
long time I've seen that.
yeah,
'Cause nothing beats seeing a number 16 beat a number one, right? But it didn't
exactly,
happen this year.
exactly. Especially if you're a betting person, then you know, well, wow, bet the odds and then hope you win, but nothing like that.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on the March Madness for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And that was about it for things outside of the big
So,
three.
yeah, well, we can talk a bit about some cricket and then some track and field. I've not been seeing track and field live, but I've watched some highlights and I've seen some upsets here and there, and I'm sure you'll talk about those
Yeah.
when you have time. And yeah, some interesting things happening in soccer as well. With even with our own Alfonso Davies. So,
That's a story and a half, I tell
really,
you.
yeah. So we'll talk about those things later, but we'll get on to some cricket first. And as you know, once IPL starts, it's like everything else just
Nothing else is happening. Everything else is happening, but nobody knows about it. It's like that
nobody knows
tree
about.
falling in the forest.
Yeah, it is because there's a series actually going on with before we get to the IPL, there's a series with New Zealand and Pakistan,
Yes.
and I don't think anybody even realized
Yes.
that that series was happening because if you look at the IPL, you'll see some of the top New Zealand players there. So, but New
Yeah.
Zealand won the T20 I's 4-1 after losing the first one,
Yes. True.
and then they've all gone up 1-0 in the ODIs with
Yes. Yeah.
a big win last night against Pakistan. And you wonder about Pakistan and New Zealand seem to be finding some new players because Mohamed Abbas, he scored the fastest 50 for
50.
debut.
He
Yeah,
did.
he
He
did.
did. He did.
Mark Chapman got 132, Daryl Mitchell 76. Because I was thinking there's no Kane Williamson.
Who
Um,
are they going to rely on, eh?
yeah, but they still, had
They
some.
found a way. I think, I don't know. I think it's a more Pakistan than a New Zealand thing, but it's good to see the New Zealanders coming up with some new players that is looking good. I think it's good for the game, but I don't know what's going on in Pakistan. They're so inconsistently and more leaning towards the not performing well side than the performing well side these days.
Pakistan almost looks like it's like a lottery pick or something because Baba Azam, they dropped him, but I understand they put in so much pressure on him that he's not performing.
Yeah,
They dropped him and made some serious changes, Pakistan, and
for the
those
worse. I don't
yeah,
think it's for the good.
exactly for the worst. It's not for the good at all, and it's not helping them. So
No, it's
they
not.
need to sit down and decide what they want to do.
I don't know. You have one of the greatest batsmen of our times, right? Our time right now with Baba Azam, and instead of supporting him, you drop him, right? What type of message are you sending here?
And they brought him back for the for the first ODI hit, and he scored 78. So showed that he should have been around for both.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like putting blame on them, but I must say that they're not thinking things through when they make these decisions.
No, it's probably a lot of politics involved in their cricket.
Always. That's
Yeah,
what Pakistan is about. A lot of politics in cricket.
definitely too much. So that series continues. It's a three-match, is it? A three-match series for them?
Series, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So well, it's not totally. I was gonna say it's strange to see, but Pakistan don't play any. Um, none of the Pakistanis play in the IPL, so I
yeah,
guess they play their cricket at the same time. And the Pakistan PSL is
yeah.
actually gonna start next month during the same
After the
time.
IPL, right? It starts right after, right?
It's competing with the IPL. It's gonna be
Oh, at the end. Okay, okay.
during the same time. It starts on the 11th of April.
Okay, I thought it was the week after. Okay, cool.
It
Cool.
goes on the same time. Well, they said their players don't play, and giving an opportunity to other players who
Yeah. Well,
I can't I can't remember which player it is that Pakistan the PSL was probably trying to bring a case against because he was signed for PSL then withdrew and went to the IPL. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, I saw yeah, so these little things happen between the two countries. Let's hope they can sort out their differences.
That's not gonna happen, Ingle.
Probably not.
And that one is so deep entrenched in their culture, in their psyche, in their everything that I don't know, man, if that's gonna change anytime soon.
I don't know for real. Yes. Um, if you go move on a bit to the IPL, and I don't know if you've been watched some of it.
I
And
just see Puran doing what he does in the IPL and doesn't do it for West Indies, but yeah, you can keep going.
yeah, I was thinking that well, that's one of the things I was going to talk about. Where Puran is just doing it for for his
For the
team,
money.
for them. And I saw somebody actually put that on Facebook. Was
Oh yeah,
saying,
they did?
yeah, they said Puran is doing what he does, similar to what you said. You know, that Puran is definitely doing it for himself.
Yeah.
When it comes to the money, well, he has to justify his pay, right?
His big paycheck. And he's doing a good job. Don't trust me. I
Hmm.
watched when I think it was what, 20 balls and he made like, I don't know. He was just going nuts out
He
there.
was, yeah, he scored 70 something in 20 odd balls. Yeah.
Balls. It's like,
Six
what?
sixes and six fours, and it was just
It's like,
madness.
whoa, he was on fire. And I was like, wow, I wish I could see that guy when he's over playing for the West Indies. But it's a different guy shows up for the West Indies.
And he was having a discussion, and they asked him about his practice and if he practices with his bat speed, and he said no, he never do that. He don't practice anything special with his batting. He said he's just born with immense talent, and that's what he thinks. So I think
Wow.
he's very talented too, and I think if he puts his mind to it, he can help West Indies in Test cricket too. But for some reason, he has decided shorter version. I make enough money, then
Yeah.
I just hang out and do what I want to do.
And don't get
And
me wrong. I mean, he's doing what he's paid to do, and he's doing a really good job doing that. So, really, really kudos to him. But
definitely,
as West Indians, you want to see him do the same when he's playing for the West Indies.
that's true. And a couple of things I wanted to discuss around West Indian players because there's a lot of chatter on social media about Rajasthan Royals and because Het Meyer, who's
Hmm.
like they were in trouble in the last game, and they batted Het Meyer at number eight, and the
Number
fans
eight.
number eight, and the fans couldn't understand. The commentators couldn't understand. I mean, like there's so many people very upset and saying, Nick Knight has made comments. A lot of people have said, listen, like this guy's picked as a batsman, and you bat him at number eight. It doesn't make sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. It's like, why would a top batsman who should bat somewhere after number three, and
Hmm.
then you bat him at eight?
Yeah, so it's like, and the game before he batted well. So I'm
Yeah.
just wondering what is going on with Rajasthan Royals to put a guy like Hetmyer. It's
Well,
almost as when they were chasing, they scored 151. Sorry, they were batting, they scored 151, and they lost the game.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, if you have a batsman who's supposed to get you runs, batting when you're in trouble, he doesn't have time to set and make runs. He has to swing, and then it doesn't make any sense.
I was actually watching that game, and it's something that I always hear, and I totally disagree with it about having or not having two left-handers batting at the same time. How come you can have two right-handers batting at the
All the
same
time. All the time, you have two right-handers. I don't, that's just nonsense, in my
It
opinion.
is. If you're a batsman, you can bat. So this thing about pushing him down because you want a left-right combination and all this nonsense, it didn't make sense to me.
That's weak. That's weak. But I understand from a bowling perspective, yeah, you can find a rhythm if it's the same right, right, or left, left. But
Hmm.
when you change it up, it makes it so much more difficult for the bowler. They have to keep changing how they come up and all of that stuff. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, why are you so intent on pushing that whole philosophy that you're going to make somebody who is a top batsman bat at number eight?
Yeah, it didn't make a
Doesn't
lot.
add up.
No, that Hasaranga, who's mainly a leg spinner, they had him bat before at Maya even, just to get him
Oh
up
boy.
there. So it didn't
Oh
make
boy.
a lot of sense to me.
And then on top of that, they lost the game. So I hope they realize that the nonsense they're doing is not helping anybody.
I hope they do, and we'll just see what happens there. And Jafra Archer, he had
Yeah.
the distinction of something that he wouldn't want to remember. He's the most runs ever in IPL, 76 and 4 overs. Uh,
4 overs.
yeah,
What
went
does
for,
he throw out the ball and say, hit me, hit me?
he went for 76, and but if Kaisiga Rabada, he said you may as well in the IPL. You can't call it cricket. Just call it. He said just call it batting because it's just made for the bat. The pitches are just for
It
the bat.
is. It
It's not
is. It
helping the
is.
bowlers at all. And
And that's, I think, a problem because, as Manali and I spoke about, IPL runs the world when it
it,
comes to cricket. So the
it,
expectation across the world is that whatever is happening there with these batting pitches is what people are going to expect. That's why when we have the World T20 over here in the West Indies, and it was like, why are these pitches so good for the bowlers? I'm
mhm,
confused because they're not used to it. They're
right,
all getting these juicy batting pitches, and all of a sudden now you get a real pitch and they don't know what to do.
true. Because I mean, imagine teams are scoring 286. You're soon gonna get 300.
It's like, and I saw it and I'm like, oh yeah, what sport is this?
The lowest score so far, I think, is 151
That's the Royals, right?
by
But yeah,
Royals. Yeah,
and
and
that's because they put Hetmeyer down at number eight.
number
But
eight,
in any case,
exactly.
in
But
any case, it's a high scoring league, and that's what fans come out for, though.
it is because I've spoken to some young people and who are not even cricket fans as such, but they
Yeah,
say they go to IPL to watch fours and sixes.
exactly. That's
So
what they're there for.
yeah, and I think the grounds are a little smaller, the boundaries are a little smaller,
Yeah,
and so they want to see big hitting, and that's what they want to see. So
and don't get me wrong. I think I love seeing big hitting,
you
but
do,
not take over the whole game where that's all it is about. If you're just going to go out there to see them hitting sixes and fours, then after a while, that itself is going to get boring.
it will get boring because and just to give an update on the current game that's going on, Gujarat Titans playing Mumbai Indians. Gujarat batting first. There are 67 without loss in 6 overs. So
Oh,
so here we go again. Another high.
they're at
Suppose
11 and over.
yeah,
Start the game, and usually you go faster in the last 10. So let's see what happens.
exactly. Both Gill and Sudarshan there on 33 and 32 in 19 and 18 balls. So it's just
Wow.
it's just a batsman game at this point.
I mean, yeah, I mean, as I say, if that's what's selling the sport and getting people into the stands, I think they're going to continue doing it.
They're gonna continue definitely. Deepak Chahar, who's one of the better bowlers, he's gone for 32 already.
Wow.
So it's Trent Bolt's gone for 19 off 2 overs. So it is a batsman's game in the IPL for sure. And India, on the other hand, when they play Test cricket against England and Australia at home, the game's finish in 2 and 3 days because no one can bat on the wickets.
Yeah, that's because they have a real pitch now.
Yeah,
Not a batting pitch anymore. They have a real balanced pitch.
so that shows that they can prepare pitches however they want to.
However they want. That's why it's intentional to get people in the stands, in my opinion, is to make it a batting pitch.
It is definitely. But yeah, so we'll continue following the IPL, but we'll give you some updates. Early days now, so I don't
Very
think
early. It's
tables,
sorting out themselves.
yeah, the tables and stuff don't mean a lot.
No.
2 games, most teams have played 2 games, some have only played one. But
Yeah.
RCB actually at the top, which is
I
a
saw that. They
yeah,
have to, I mean, I like them, but they're off to a good start. But I mean,
that's a good
they haven't
start.
done anything in years to say, yeah, we're going to be competitive at the final rounds. So let's see if they do that this year.
That's what I said to someone. I was chatting with a guy on the flight, and he said, "I said, RCB is a good team, but they never can win a championship."
Exactly.
So
Not even close.
close. So and then Mumbai Indians, they're looking for their first. Both teams were playing today, looking for their first wins. So Mumbai
Yeah, but I mean, the Mumbai Indians, how many times have they won again? They're usually champions. So,
won a lot of times. Yeah,
so they're off to a slow start, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
it is definitely. And one of the final thing about IPL for me is there was some discussion again about Narayan's action, and then I don't know. The next day he didn't play the game because they said he was sick. So
I don't know. I think it's gone on for so long. How many years have we heard about this thing, Ingle?
exactly, exactly. It's
Years and years and years. It's like, man, is he cheating or is he not cheating?
every time he's doing okay, they somebody brings up this thing about his action, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there are other players who have suspect actions and no one says anything.
Says anything. Yeah, yeah.
So I
But
think
Narayan is so successful. I think they
yeah,
have good reason to try and bring him down.
yes, because against KKR they were going going great guns and then Narayan came on and he stopped the run flow. So I guess they didn't like that.
No, we got to stop this guy. He's destroying our team here. What's going on? Why is it every year he does this and no one can stop him? So let's find a way to stop him. Let's ban him.
Yeah, but I don't think IPL will ban him though. And
No, I don't think he's a star there, right? So they have to be very careful how they handle it. But I
yeah,
think it's been too many years of it though, England. It's comes back every time he seems to be doing well. It comes back up
it
again.
comes back up all the time. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
definitely,
unfortunately.
unfortunately. And before we leave cricket, just finally, West Indies women have announced their team
Yeah.
for the qualifiers. It's just disappointing to hear West Indies have to play in qualifiers, but that's the way it is right now. They will be going to practice one. And a little bit of a blow to the team because DeAndre Dotson seemed to have picked up an injury.
Injury, yeah, yeah, which is unfortunate. But I believe they're going to come through pretty easily through the qualifiers. I think they're bouncing
So,
into some decent form, decent team. So I think form and team being decent, they will start doing well. I'm feeling a little confident in what they're doing out there, and I think
mhm.
you're going to see some success from them.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. And just quickly, West Indies, they have a new breakout league where you have under 23 players mainly, and then two players, one can be 27 and one can be 29. And
Yeah,
those teams, that's coming up pretty soon. I don't like the name Breakout League, but hey,
I
whatever.
can understand what they're trying to do in terms of a message, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
not a good name.
yeah, I can understand it as well, but yeah. And then yeah, they came about the discussion about the economic impact of the World Cup, saying that you have $1.66 billion in the Caribbean economy, boosted the economy by 1.66 billion.
It's a
I
big
don't know.
number.
It's a
Big
big
number.
number because I saw people started blaming the government, saying, "Oh, Jamaica missed out, St. Kitts missed out, and wherever else, Dominica, whoever else missed out." So,
Yeah.
but it's a big number. But sometimes I think, are those numbers real, or can you inflate some of it?
I think you can put it on paper, but the people don't really feel it or see it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Let's put it on paper, but did the businessman or the businesswoman, see that?
Yeah,
Yes,
not anything close, I believe.
for sure. I don't think so. I think, yeah, I think that's it for me for cricket, Roger. Unless you had
There are a
anything
couple
else.
things for cricket. So I see Joe Root saying, "No, no, no, I don't want the England captaincy anymore." What's going on over there, Ingle? What is going on over there?
Well, I think people just want to play and not have that responsibility. Joe Root is not going to take England's captain for sure.
Yeah, he's been there, done that, and he got blamed for some stuff. So I don't think he's going to want to go back and get more blame for anything. So
Mhm.
just go on bat.
Yeah, it's definitely Joe just don't want to go back to that. But I don't know who's going to take that captaincy.
That's $1 million question. I was wondering if you had any insights because it sounds like
Maybe
nobody wants it.
maybe Stokes. Maybe Stokes will come back and play and take both.
Maybe, who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah.
He's a serious guy, so maybe that would be good for him.
It could be. Yeah, definitely could be good for him.
I don't know the question though, and I mean, I know we've spoken about it from time to time, but is this the West Indies 40 championships on another break again, or am I missing out on something here?
Yeah, I was actually looking for the schedule and see they're on another break again.
How could you have two breaks in one season?
I don't know. It's It's. I think I've lost the interest when I do that too. And
I even forgot that it was there because I looked for some scores and it says the next game is next week, and I'm like,
yeah, they're on another break. Yeah, which
this is
don't make any
crazy,
sense. It don't make any
absolutely crazy. Ingle got to talk to them about that.
Yeah, I can ask look Shallow about that, but Shallow seems more interested in his campaign these days.
You know what? Priorities, man. He's a politician at heart,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
So
what's going to come first.
I seen him in the campaign mood, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good luck to him on that.
Yeah.
Another question I had though, I think a lot of they're taking some polls, and most people think that Test cricket is still an important format to be playing, but
Is
they're
it?
saying 78% of them actually from the polls said they believe that there should be minimum standards for how much international cricket is scheduled. So I think
Yeah.
that's a big question for me: is all these leagues, all these championships that are being played, and all of that. Is there one overarching schedule to say we have 5,000 games this year, or we have 500 games this year, and this is when they're going to happen, or stuff like that, or everybody just does their own thing?
Everybody does their own thing, but I think they were. I saw someone sent me yesterday the paper, discussion paper that they had on cricket, and there's something about the window for international cricket. Uh, I
Oh,
ha- I haven't read it in detail yet, but I think that is what's been discussed. That
okay. Sounds like what they have in football.
correct. Yes, I have a way forward and FIFA actually was part of those polls and discussions, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
okay. It may make sense. I think even the guys that are doing it now in football are sort of complaining still, but at least they know they have that window.
They do have that window, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Definitely. And this one other thing that I haven't read it yet, but I just saw the headline where Chris Daring was saying something about, he was referring to the fact that um, track and field and cricket can be together to help develop West Indies. We may need track and field to help develop West Indies cricket, but I haven't read the full article
I
yet.
haven't read that one either. It'll be an interesting discussion because track and field can show you success and show you the path to go on and all of that stuff because they have traveled it. Maybe that's what Darren is trying to do.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do, but yeah, there was an article about him saying, yeah, something about the track and field and cricket. So I have to read that article. I haven't had time to read these things yet, but I will.
I know you just bad, but
I'll
I
read.
will say in general, what track and field does is that they start. First of all, they develop their coaches to be top notch coaches across in the world,
Hmm.
and then they start their development very early and they try to make it consistent. So I think all three things that I just mentioned are missing in the West Indies
In the West, definitely.
cricket. So maybe that's what he's thinking about is that track and field has success because the kids are participating from early ages. They're excited about it. There's marketing around it. The coaches are the best in the world, and you have a lot of them, so you don't have to depend on one and two. And yeah, you have development opportunities along the way. So maybe that's what he's going to come up with.
Maybe that's what he's going to come up with. Yeah. So we will see. I'm sure he's been talking to different people to see how it's going to happen, how it works best for him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he's a smart guy, and he knows a lot about a lot. So I believe he's going to figure it out. I believe he just has to get the support long term. This is not a short term fix.
It can be,
Yeah.
and no, definitely cannot be a short term.
All right. Let's switch over to some soccer before we go to track and field this time because I
Sure.
think I think we need to talk about what's going on over there between Bayern Munich and Canada.
Yes,
Um, it's World War Three, man.
it is. I mean, the whole world just seems messed up. Everybody wants to fight everybody.
I know, but they say they're going to sue Canada Soccer,
Canada soccer, yeah.
sue them because the guy got injured. He's like, "What are
Mm.
you talking about?"
Yeah, they
But
said they want a full investigation.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're telling the country how to operate. They said they believe he was pressured to start the U.S. game by the coach Jesse Marsh. And
Hmm.
then he went out there and got injured because he wasn't 100%, they said, and they still forced him to play. That's their belief of their argument. I don't know if that's enough. I don't even see how it could be enough, but I don't know. What your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, they're saying that they didn't provide appropriate care and for the player and the breach of medical duty of care, etc. But yeah, it's a tough one. How do you sue a federation?
For playing a player that is your player,
Yeah, so
who was not the injury that he got it in the game. He didn't go in the game with this injury, so I
exactly.
don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, so it's a tough one to, but yeah, Canada Soccer, I think they said they put out a statement. They said medical document confirms that proper care protocols were
Oh,
followed. Yeah, so
you've been in Canada for a long time. You know that that will likely be very true because
of
that's
course,
standard in Canada.
yeah, they're gonna follow the protocols and
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
so I don't know. When I saw the headlines and then I read the article, I'm like, what is Brian Munich talking about?
I have no idea, but they're not happy right now. Not happy. That's all I can tell you because ACL injuries are not short term.
No, they're not. They're not short term.
And I know with the World Cup coming up next year, I hope he fully recovers and get a chance to get back to full fitness before that.
Some of the teams are quite upset because they had the qualifiers and then now the club games are scheduled 2 days before, and players require 48 to 72 hours recovery time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some of them are not happy. So yeah.
Goes back to the window we talked about.
Yes, exactly.
The window I think is way too tight in my opinion because they set up this window as if you're playing in the country that you're playing your club league. It's not like you're going down the street to play a game. Some people are
Right.
traveling different time zones, different places across the world. You can't expect them to go to Australia, for example, and come back and play the next day or 2 days later. It's not going to happen. They're going to be, it's not going to work, right? So they try to put these other things in to avoid jet lag and all the other medical opportunities of
Hmm.
failure. But at the end of the day, it's still a very tight schedule.
It is a very tight schedule, definitely.
We definitely see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Speaking about Canada, still, we saw this headline that 7 Premier League clubs are eyeing the move for Jonathan David, who's Canada's top striker. And this 7 clubs in the Premier League is quite a bit. Spurs, Newcastle, and even Manchester United and Arsenal
Wow.
are looking at him, and the European giants are looking at him. So maybe Jonathan Anthony Davies goes down, but maybe Jonathan David is the man that Canada needs to rely on.
Maybe if the others are seeing something special in him, then yeah.
Yes, yes, a lot of people. He scores a lot of goals. He has been scoring goals for a bit, and I think he's like I've seen some of the goals recently, and he's getting better and better. I must say. So kudos to him. He's doing a good job.
Yes.
Quickly talk about Brazil and Argentina. So they had a big matchup, of course, as always, and
I don't think it was that big.
it wasn't big for Brazil. It was certainly big for Argentina.
Yeah.
They came 4-1, and they said, "Brazil coach, you're out.
Yeah,
I'm done. You're done."
he's sacked. Yeah.
Immediately, no waiting around anymore because this is one of the biggest victory over Brazil in well, maybe ever for Argentina.
Yeah, and it's Brazil. I mean, it's a good thing that 6 teams from South America are going to
Yeah,
the World Cup because they're in fourth position.
they're in fourth. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, when are you going to make it to the top two? Argentina is done. They're at the top and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're into the World Cup, and these guys are fourth, wondering what's happening next. So
Hmm.
interesting to see what's going to happen
There's
there,
some,
Ingle.
there's some discussion that they're going to make an approach to Ancelotti.
They've been
Um,
talking about that for a while. I don't know if he's going to take it, but I doubt it actually. But it would be good for them to get someone like that. Although, just in my personal opinion, he doesn't represent the Brazilian style of football that I think we grew up on.
we grew up with.
So I don't know. Maybe he's going to be good for the team, but it's probably not going to be the type of exciting soccer that Brazil should be playing.
Should play. Yeah, that's true.
But we definitely see that. But anyway, the last 2 coaches that they've had have not been very exciting either. So maybe it's nothing new for them. They just got to start winning games.
Correct. Mm.
We also saw, last week, the Gold Cup qualifications, and Dwight York took over the head coach of Trinidad and Tobago, and he's doing an excellent job bringing in players and actually starting to win games. He has qualified for the Gold Cup right away. He
Hmm.
beat Cuba 5-1. Where in Trinidad they beat them 4-0 in a game of just dominance. So maybe York has figured out something for Trinidad, and they're going to start rising up again. But kudos to him. Kudos to Trinidad and Tobago going through to the Gold Cup for soccer.
For a long time. Yeah. It's
Yep.
good to know.
Good to see. Well, Jamaica, on the other hand, who were big favorites for this qualification round, they struggled against St. Vincent and tied 1-1 over there, but then came home and they won 3-0 at home. So they're through. and the big names are getting excited about it. So let's see how Jamaica does. But when you see Jamaica and Trinidad starting to rise like this, that's going to be a matchup to watch for,
That's gonna be a big matchup.
a
Yeah, for
big
sure.
matchup to watch for going forward. And Mexico, they won the Nations League. So they defeated Canada 2-0 in that game that we were talking about
Hmm.
with Antonio Davies. But they beat Panama in the finals. As Panama found a way to beat the USA. So
Yes,
both
yeah, yeah. I
from
was
USA
shocked.
were out.
Yeah, I was shocked actually.
I know it was like, whoa. Mexico wins though, so kudos to Mexico for winning that.
Um,
And finally in soccer, and I would like your opinion on this too. Can Lionel Messi really make it to the 2026 World Cup? Because he's just entering some zones now with these injuries that he's having. That is he gonna be available or is he gonna be done by next year?
I think it's gonna be tough for him to make it to the. I mean, he's 37.
Yeah,
It's gonna be tough. He might be one of those guys. They for purposes of just saying, okay, let him come off the bench, play a couple of minutes or something like that. But
they may.
see him make a big impact in the World
I
Cup.
believe he's going to be on the team. I don't know if he's going to play much, as you're saying.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But I think motivation wise and media wise and marketing wise and all of that, I think he's going to be on the team. But I don't think he's going to be a huge contributor, though.
yeah, I don't think so either. And talking about Messi, I was gonna ask you, did he play in Jamaica? Because I saw when they landed.
Yes, you know what? He came on at halftime
Okay, did
and he
okay.
played and he scored in the last minute of the game. So the Jamaicans were cheering for Messi,
Oh,
not for Cavaliers, who's from Jamaica. So they got a hard time for that. They even blamed the prime minister for cheering for Messi.
oh,
But everybody wanted to see Messi. The stadium was full to the brim. There were hundreds of people that couldn't get in, and I was happy to see that the coach for Miami put him on so early and gave him a chance to showcase his skills on the Jamaican turf.
mm.
Pretty good to
And
see.
great that he played because I saw the last I remember of that is to see the flight when the plane touched down, a picture of the plane touching down and them coming off. But it
And
was
we
showing
met
his
at the airport. Everybody was just so crazy just to see Lionel Messi.
yes. That's good that he played that game.
Very, very good. I was very happy because I was saying, is he only going to get 5 minutes? But no, he gave him over half an hour. So
So
that was pretty
ah,
good.
that's good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Mhm.
Anything you want to add on soccer?
No, I think that's it.
All
Oh,
right. So let's switch over to track and field. In Jamaica, there is the Boys and Girls High School Championships, which is the number one in the world. And lots going on there. It's very tight at the top between the defending champions. They're right there on the girls' side. So Edwin Allen is at number two. And on the boys' side, Kingston College is at number one. But they're less than 20 points separate them at number two. So very, very interesting times. Today's the last day of the championships. Everybody's looking forward to see something special happen. I don't think we're going to see any special times, but it did prove one thing, Ingle. All this talk about the track is going to be slow and it's all a lie. It's all a
it's
lie.
yeah, it's not
The
slow.
track is fast.
Okay, good.
So you
And
have 100 meter for women for girls under 20. The winner ran 11.06, which is not a joke. It's the second fastest time ever. And
mm,
on the men's side, the boy ran 10.06, which is the second fastest time ever. So,
so it's
they didn't break the Jamaican records, but they were close.
they're close, yeah. So that's good
That is good. The track is fast.
because I was thinking one of the players for the Canadian team is Jamaican, and we were discussing the track when we were there in Namibia,
Yeah.
and yes, I'm happy to know that it's fast track.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium now with the colors that are in there and with a fast track and everything. I think next weekend's Grand Slam is going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I was hoping I can go, but it don't look that way.
Oh, you're still having jet lag.
Yeah, I think I still have to. I don't know because we have another tour coming up in 2 weeks' time, so I have to
Okay,
prepare
yeah,
for
that's be a lot of traveling.
that. Yeah, so I think I have to watch it.
Yeah, that's fine. It should be fine to watch. Um, so I mean, some other news and notes. Mostly, I think big for me personally. World Relays has confirmed Botswana, May 2nd and 3rd next year, as they're going to be hosting it. So the first time in Africa that the World Relays is going to be going there. So a huge, huge, huge thing. for Botswana and for Africa that
Yeah.
sport is coming there. So, congratulations to them. Definitely exciting times for them for sure. Other political stuff. World Athletics, they continue to ban Russia and Belarus. They're
Mhm.
not lifting those bans, and of course, Russia's getting frustrated. But they're saying that the new president of the IOC, Christy Coventry, is thinking about. Well, she's going to have discussions with them about coming back in. So, I don't know where you stand on this, English. Should this ban, which has been going on for years now, continue?
I don't even know, to be honest. Mixed on it, but the athletes shouldn't suffer because of the politics.
True,
The only thing
true.
I think about, but it's been good if you put it in place, so you'll have to justify the reason for lifting it at this point, right?
That's the big question now. How are you going to justify doing it? Because the
Yeah,
conditions that they were put in there in the first place hasn't really changed.
exactly.
So I don't see it being lifted right now at all, to tell the truth.
No, I don't see that either.
Oh boy! But they also also came out and said they have approved the introduction of a test to determine if an athlete is biologically female. So you're going down this road again, Ingle. But there's a big push, especially since Trump has won, is to remove the
Trans,
trans from
yeah.
the games. I believe they should have their own championships, but I don't know. What do you
I
think?
believe that too. I think there should be a category for them. Some have their own championships. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. They can't expect to compete. There's always these articles that this female got beaten by a guy who was a female at the time when he when he beat him. So it's just not good for the sport, in my opinion.
No, it's definitely not.
And we saw Canada's Evan Dunphy. He not only won, he set a world record in the 35-kilometer race walk. So kudos to him, kudos to Canada, another world record under our belts. And Evan Dunphy, he's been around a while, competes at the
And yeah,
Olympics quite a bit, but world record holder, 35-kilometer race walk.
oh, nice. Actually met him a couple of years ago at the
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, he was the key speaker at the seminar that I went to. So yeah, it's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And almost out of time, so I'll quickly touch this one because it's mildly amusing for me personally. But is Donald Trump about to save the Commonwealth Games by making the USA a Commonwealth associate member? Can you believe that, Inga?
Oh, really?
USA reports surfaced last week that the USA was invited to join the Commonwealth of Nations by King Charles III via a private letter
Mm.
delivered to Trump. And Trump responded to the story on his Truth Social platform, posting, "I love King Charles. Sounds good to me." I don't know if it's even any truth to that one, but I don't know what are your thoughts about the USA
Trump
being a
wants to be
Commonwealth country.
Trump wants to be called King Trump, so
Well, there you go. Nothing beats that.
against that yet. So yeah, I don't think that will save the games anyway.
I don't think so either.
No,
Probably make it worse.
no. I think we just got a minute left and there's a show coming up.
Yeah, we're out of
So
time, but
just a quick one. I saw that there's a Kennedy that beat Gout in Australia.
yeah, I saw that. It was. Is that not Gout run poorly? He ran 20.30, but Kennedy ran 20. I was looking and I said, did this really happen just now? Because I thought this young 17-year-old was the sensation and he's going to take everything, but he
That's
lost.
what I thought. He
Boga
lost.
lost as well, but he was in the 400.
He was 400, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, definitely we'll keep an eye on this. Track and field is about to heat up. Hopefully
Yeah.
the Jamaican women will be back at the top, and we'll see
Looking
some
forward to
fast
seeing them there. And it starts with the Grand Slam next weekend, and we're going to see what is going to be in store. It's the start of the season for the pros.
for the pros, definitely. But that'll be out of time, Roger. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Whatever you do for the rest of the weekend, be good and be safe.
Enjoy, everyone. See you next week.